culture and me.
It is a place where the truth should be kept.
The arts and music scene really shows what people are about.
Share what's going on here in York.
It makes you feel like a family.
Local art has a face that most people can relate to.
Our community up here that sticks together.
Art is art.
Great potential with great artists, poets, singers, writers, directors, filmmakers. It's fantastic.
Everyone has a story to tell.
That moment, you have to capture that moment and share it with the rest of the world.
Showing something that maybe has not been seen before.
Without art, what good is life?
I am art. I've been art ever since I was born.
It really adds a great deal to our community.
We don't really need art to exist, but you need art to live.
Culture Maine is important, and I think playing out is important, and playing open mics and playing wherever you can play. It's all about us all checking in with each other.
Thank you, everybody.
I would say that this project was a dream. I had been introduced to York and had walked down the streets and been impressed by the architecture and also sort of a mystery and a sense of potential that was here. You know, the empty storefronts and all this sort of becoming. And so the dream came out of that for Spaceship York. To create a community space where we could build something out of nothing and tap into people's visions and dreams. I'm William Chambers, and the director and project manager and astronaut in Spaceship York.
T-minus 10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5.
That was the first dream. I think it's changed as I've done this. To be more about everyone having a voice for their dreams and really listening to each other's dreams. I think that's maybe a deeper way to look at it. But, yeah. If you come to visit Spaceship York, you maybe will see brightly painted signs outside trying to pull you into the space. And once you come in, there's different stations, and the first is our space library. It has examples of not all space travel, but early attempts at trying to get off the ground. It doesn't always go well, and so you could read about that. I can't say we'll do better, but I'm hopeful. The other things you might stop and do is there's the actual spaceship, and folks are welcome to come and help me work on it. To explore it, and there is a camera, so it's sort of a photo booth, and people have been known to take pictures of themselves with the ship. And then, the most important part is the dream wall. Right now we have about 77 visions for ourselves, for York, for the world, and they are pictures, they are written, and folks really of all ages have contributed them. So I'm hopeful that we can get many more dreams, and those will go in the ship, and liftoff is set for June 5th, which happens to be First Friday, and there certainly will be a spectacle when that happens. Creator is a good word. Art, I have an art background. I guess I could be an artist. It's not something I think about too much. I'm much happier creating this place for folks to interact and then just letting that happen. Being in the background, it's not really that much about me and more about what happens to you when you come into space and how you contribute and change it.
5 kilometers, downrange distance 1.3 kilometers.
There's an amazing new face on the downtown art scene, the Rooted Artist Collective, which is a great gallery over in WeCo. That's west of the Cadorus, for those of you still brushing up on your neighborhood lingo. Now, the Rooted is a great group of 5 artists, some of whom are very familiar friends to you, like Dustin Nispel, who hosted our First Friday series last season. But there's a great new voice who's probably the main heartbeat that you'll get to see in the gallery. And we had to bring her down here today to talk about not just the art that she creates, but also the birth of a brand new art gallery and how you make that happen, and also what art has done for her, because her story is pretty incredible. Please welcome to Culture in Maine, Carrie Lee. So Carrie, welcome to the fabulous art world that's Culture in Maine. So now you are basically the main person that gets to run the day-to-day operations of the gallery, or do you share it with all of you and just having the mayhem of gallery ownership together?
We all share the craziness together, definitely. Dustin and myself are probably there throughout the day the most often, but all 5 members are there sharing in the experience and working together. We make it work in different shifts because we do have part-time jobs. So maybe somebody will work 4 hours in the morning and then do their part-time at night, or another one of our girls serves, so she'll serve in the morning and then she comes helps us in the evening. So
what's the difference between it being a collective and it just being a traditional gallery?
Not losing my mind. No.
The fact that there's more than one of us.
Yeah, I guess the difference is that you always have 4 other people that you trust to rely on with creative ideas. There's no stagnancy in your ideas because there's always new things flowing. What else is a positive thing about having 5 people? The ideas, the workload. When we were starting the gallery, we were able to give everybody homework assignments, if you will. Okay, nice. You take care of this, you take care of this. For example, I took care of the square register for everybody, so nobody else had to worry about that. But while I was doing the square register, they were taking care of other things that I didn't have to worry about, but needed to be done for the business.
In terms of getting this gallery, because it was a journey that took months.
6 months. It was 6 months. It was actually, it felt, to be in it, it felt like it happened really quick because it went from just the 5 of us painting together in Dustin and Jess's side room in their home in Dover to deciding, hey, let's maybe try a pop-up gallery in downtown in New York City. Met with Steve and David of Ironic, and before we knew it, we're signing a lease and we have a space and we're gonna have paintings on the wall every month. So yeah, it was.
That's crazy. So it was really just, I mean, how did you guys all meet and start painting together?
Well, Dustin and Bobby have known each other for about 20 years now. They were in Boy Scouts together. Yes. And then Dustin and I met in middle school. We are ex-roommates twice over, so we've done, we've lived together.
You put your time in.
Yes, we put our time in. Jessica is also moved to us to York County from South Carolina. We were in middle school, so she knows us all from middle school. And then Megan moved into the area about 7 years ago and has been with Bobby and with our group for like 4 years now.
Wow, so you just all happen to come together and be all artists that love to, and on all different styles.
All different styles.
But you just all gelled together. And
I think it's important to say that we've all helped each other grow as artists just in the past year. Like, for example, Dustin and Jessica do the spoken word poetry, and their words, when they're speaking, that will make me think about, well, what do I want to paint? Ooh, I like that saying. Maybe I want to put that into a painting. I did Dustin's live painting, his book release in August for the Tower, and that was just this great juxtaposition of 2 different art forms. And then Dustin didn't paint for almost all of his life. His mother's a painter, but he was never interested. He met Jessica and he began to start painting. She really encouraged him to do so. Megan was not really into the art scene so much until she met Bobby. Bobby does music and he's always painted, and now she's this great street artist that does the spray paint stuff that she was never really into before, but now she loves. So we've all kind of influenced each other in a way, as artists.
Amazing. So now you're running the gallery,
yes,
which is where?
It is 101 North Newberry Street in York, Pennsylvania.
So what made you pick a more emerging neighborhood? I mean, there's definitely some colorful characters, and it's not necessarily known as being an art district, as opposed to some of the great parts in, the southern part of the county or downtown on Beaver Street. Why there?
I think that specific area needs it, and I think it's exciting to be part of an emerging art district. We can all support each other. We're all different art galleries, so we can submit to each other and support each other and help grow the community, because it's not about this location or that location. It's that we're all a part of York, and we need to make York better.
Oh. So in terms of your painting, I mean, how would you qualify your style? Like, what art school would you say this falls into?
Oh my goodness.
Like surrealistic.
Surrealism, impressionism. No, I don't know. I really paint from my emotions, and I try to control things in my own life, and that's hard. So when you paint, you're trying to control everything, and you might be trying to paint a face, for example, and you get it muddy, and you're working too hard on the small details. With this, I don't have any control, really. I put the paint at the very top, as you saw me painting, but then as it drips, I don't really have too much control over that. The end process is something that's sort of created, and as I paint, I'm painting with it above me, so it's dripping down at me, kind of to like mirror anxiety in a way, because when you're anxious, it kind of feels like it's on you.
So that's something that you have dealt with, is anxiety, and the painting becomes kind of a manifestation of that.
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
Is there a connection between the painting and the feeling of actually putting that anxiety and the feeling of anxiety into your painting process and it helping with that?
I can wake up in the morning and it's terrible to like get out of bed, to think about like, what am I going to do with myself for the next hour, even though you rationally know, okay, I have to eat breakfast, I have to get showers to get ready for the day. But to know that I can just immediately go to this, it's like as that's flushing down the canvas in the morning, I'm like, okay, I can start my day now. So it's like a physical manifestation of a feeling.
Do you paint every day?
Almost every day. Yeah, I have it set up in my bedroom. When I lived at my parents' house, my mom was really happy about that. Yeah.
So when you are creating a piece, like how does it not, it doesn't stress you out to have no control over or how it comes out? So what makes each painting different?
Each painting is different because I can't ever recreate any of the strokes that I've done. Because I can place the brush at the top of the painting, because that's how I work. I'll place it at the top and let it drip down. But other than that, I can't very much control which direction it'll go in, or how. I can press harder or lighter, but that's about what I'm working with.
So you can actually, there's certain ways you can influence it, depending on how you put it, what colors you choose, how you paint the brush. But in terms of the end result, it's always a mystery. So each one is truly one of a kind in a totally different way. Did you study art in any way, or how did you stumble upon this as being a method of expression for you?
I've been in art school, and I just graduated from York College for fine art. But and I was really interested in illustration. I worked with Kristen Kest, and I loved it. She's an illustrator. But I stumbled upon this. I'm not even sure how I stumbled upon it. I did one day. Maybe it was an accident. I'm not even sure, because when I took it, it went off. I never really thought about the starting point after that. I just thought about doing it. So to think back now, we'll say it was an accident. We'll call it a lucky mistake.
A serendipitous
just
explosion.
like a drip down. I do remember having drips down a canvas and being like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I guess that's how it started.
And
like
sometimes you'll put extra stuff, like sometimes you'll add words.
Words, yes. These are all missing the words. Another part of my personal therapy when I'm feeling a little low is I'll look up inspirational quotes, Bible verses, or I'll look through my old sketchbooks from when I was a teenager or my earlier 20s, and I'll find these things that I wrote. And my favorite is, her sighs were the sighs of a sea you see. It was a little tongue twister I wrote. But anyway, these storms are meant to wash us clean was another really popular one. But I'll put those with the backgrounds, and I think the two are very strong together.
So what have people's responses been when they see this work in the gallery, or when they see you
Positive
create?
And very supportive. The paintings have been a great platform for something a little more important, which is, I think, the conversation about mental illness and the stigma behind it. People are afraid to talk about being depressed or being anxious when it's a normal thing. There's a lot of people that struggle with that, and we should be able to talk about it. And if I can put my face to it and normalize it, then I've done a good thing for the day. And that's what the paintings have allowed me.
Wow. So, so what about the people that come into the Rooted? I mean, I know that you guys have already started doing shows where you're allowing other people to bring their work, and you started taking submissions and having poetry. And one thing that I've noticed with the theme of the events there is it is really based on that sharing. Like the theme that you have for the next show that you're doing in June is actually based on recovery and people finding ways in which they've healed or moved on or survived things that they've overcome. Is that like a theme that sort of goes not just through you, but through the other members of the collective and the gallery? Is there like a Rooted mission?
Absolutely. I don't mean to be biased. Maybe I'm a little, but all 5 of our members, we all have some pretty incredible stories. I mean, I'm very proud of the other 4 individuals of my group that they've overcome what they've overcome in their lifetimes. And I know that this show meant a lot to them personally. Dustin and Jessica had family members in the show. I know it meant a lot to them to be a part of that. We've had a few community members that put pieces into the show, and I know it meant a lot to them to have pieces in. So, yeah.
You guys are doing such an incredible thing there. Well, everyone needs to make sure that they make it down to the Rooted and that they check out the amazing artists, Carrie Lee. And you can be found on Facebook at facebook.com/The Rooted Artists Collective. Or you personally, can they find you personally?
Carrie Lee.
Carrie Lee. Make sure to go check out that incredibly inspirational art.
Drumming is a means of communication. It is communication. I am Akila Karima, and I am a native York born here. I'm back in the city by way of passion, by way of direction, and I felt very necessary to bring about restoration, about unity, and bringing back the cultural respect and identity. And the best way to do it is to bring the medicine from where I came from to bring it back into the city here. When you don't have anything verbal to say, the drumming will always connect with the heartbeat. The heartbeat, if there's bitterness, if there's sickness, if there's strife, if there's contention, drumming will actually bring forth a communication that will help eradicate and bring healing and unity. It's all in the drumming. It is a heartbeat type of medicine for the people. It's both African tradition, it's both native, you'll find it in any culture. Drumming is a very key instrument for healing. You're going to see a lot of change when you can work with the young people and work with the adults who have the same desire to bring restoration, to bring change, to bring celebration and education, and to honor the ancestors at the same time of the growth that took place here in York, Pennsylvania. I asked the young people today, I said, what positive thing you would like to see in your neighborhood? And a lot of them didn't really know, but they said, I want to see positive. I want to see positive. So even though they were not able to explain it, there's a need here. And as soon as they saw the drums, they gravitated to it. So it's something that is not introduced to them, but it is something on the inside of them that they're missing. And so with this in mind, we know that this is a need that has to be addressed. They need to be touched, they need to give back, and through today, with the drumming circle, with others coming in, we're looking forward to the young people being restored, and they're going to remember this day. They're going to remember this day. So it's a lot of healing that has to go on, and we're starting with the young people.
It's Jim Rowlett, R-O-W-L-E-T-T. I'm the marketing director for the National Street Rod Association. We're here today celebrating the 35th time in York, Pennsylvania for the Street Rod Nationals East Plus. The event's been going 42 years. We've made a home here in York. So 35th, we're fixing to watch the parade. So enjoy. Do have a website. It's www.nsra-usa.com. And look on the website, visit with us, got information about the events coming up. We do 10 events around the United States, and we always enjoy coming to York. Street Rod is defined as a pre-1949 vehicle that's modified for today's highways. So that's the 1948 and older. The neat part about this event now, it's called the Street Rod Nationals East Plus, and the plus signifies the cars that are 30 years old or older. So not only we have street rods, but we also have the classic cars from the 50s and 60s, muscle cars from the 60s and 70s. All right, here comes some of York's finest. They're bringing their motorcycles, doing the deal. This is going to be a big time. Well, just want to invite everybody to come out to the York Expo Center. That's where the event is being held Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And just come out and enjoy the event. 8 to 5 on Friday, 8 to 5 on Saturday, 8:30 to 2 on Sunday. A lot of things going on out at the fairgrounds. You have not only the cars, you have commercial vendors, you have an arts and crafts area we call Women's World, and there's some games that the kids can play, so a lot of good things happening. Hey, I'll tell you what, it's always fun when we come down to the parade, get to see it from this aspect. The folks on the streets enjoy it. We have a good time. Join us next year, or come out and see us at the fairgrounds.
Okay, great. Where do you know any of the stories? How about
We're here at the Martin Memorial Library today to create a Child Abuse Prevention Month Painting for Prevention mural. Hi, I'm Beth Bittler. I'm the Program Director for the Pennsylvania Family Support Alliance. So what happens is that we work with folks in the community. We talk about what ideas they want to put in the mural. In this case, we're looking at the importance of reading with children. We're talking about children's literature, talking about having good bonding time between parents and kids. And so the images that are on the mural are all about books from classics from children's literature, Where the Wild Things Are, Goodnight Moon, all kinds of children's books. And then whoever is in the library today just comes up to the board and adds their brush strokes to it. And so we get a lot of collaboration, a lot of people in the community. It becomes everybody's project. When the mural is completed, it's going to travel a little bit around. So it'll be on display here in the library for a little while. It'll be at the Lehman Center, which is up a little bit up on Market Street. The Lehman Center provides parenting classes and family support programs and a crisis nursery. And so they do a lot of work with parents too. Anyone who is interested in having the mural visit them or put it on display could contact us, the Pennsylvania Family Support Alliance, and we'll help to work that out.
This song is entitled Looking for You. Man took off the shoreline to touch the sky like he said he would do. Walking the clouds, he said he would find something that airplanes can't even find. And he walked for miles, and he walked for days. And he stuck to his words like he said he would do. Fell through the clouds when the rain rolled right through. But as a man of his words, he tells the truth. He said, one you look for when you're looking for you. Half the clouds, hoping he could face the sun like he said that he would. Fighting the sun and all of its rays, wanted to be the brave one today. And he walked for miles, and he walked for days. And he stuck to his words like he said he would do. Fell through the clouds as the rain rolled right through. But as a man of his words, he tells the truth. He said, one you look for when you're looking for you. Stuck to his words like he said he would do. Fell through the clouds as the rain rolled right through. But as a man of his words, he tells the truth. He said, one you look for when you're looking for you. This next one is called Don't Judge Me, another one of our original as well, so I hope you like it. It's hard to find out what you want, kinda confusing when you don't know what you need. Don't come easy, and you're moving along at full speed, and you don't know why. I wish that I could fly through a window, climb to the sky, write a softer lullaby, and that's who I wanna be. I wanna play in the snow, make an angel soul like a little kid looking out the window, and that's who I wanna be. Don't judge me. Maybe I'll climb to the heights today. What am I thinking? I'll just make my mistakes and say that I'm sorry. Although I'm quite a champ of that game, and I don't know why. I wish that I could fly through a window, climb to the sky, write a softer lullaby, and that's who I wanna be. I wanna play in the snow, make an angel of soul, like a little kid looking out the window, and that's who I wanna be. Don't judge me. People today, they should just sit back and laugh at what I say, instead of judging everything I say. I wish that I could fly through a window, climb to the sky, write a softer lullaby, and that's who I wanna be. I wanna play in the snow, make an angel of soul, like a little kid looking out the window, and that's who I wanna be. I wish that I could fly through a window, climb to the sky, write a softer lullaby, and that's who I wanna be. I wanna play in the snow, make an angel of soul, like a little kid looking out the window, and that's who I wanna be. Don't judge me.
This next song that we have is called Runaway, and it's just about dealing with the hardships that everyone faces day to day. So, you know, do you run away from your fears, or do you just sit there and take them and make something of it? So this one's called Runaway.
Some days I can hardly stand what it takes to be a better man. Maybe I will start another life. I can't take this feeling that's inside. I will run away, hide from all that I have done wrong. I will run away, hide from all that I have done wrong. I'm a runaway. Pack my things up and drive away. Get out of here before it's too late. Didn't mean to cause you any harm, so I'll drive and drive through the break of dawn.
My name is Ryan Hahn, and
I'm Joe Wagner.
And we are part of Anastasia's Outlook. We don't have our whole band with us. We're missing Kelsey Rodensky. She's our piano player. Basically, we started out as a band. We were all friends at York College where we met, and we were in between bands, and we were really looking to play. Like, hey, we're just itching to play some more. So we decided to get together and play some open mic nights and that kind of stuff, and see how things went. And we decided that it sounded pretty good together.
Yeah, and just going off of that, Ryan mentioned that we were friends, before we started the band, and I think, that was one of the reasons why we work so well as a band together. We all kind of know each other's personalities and what's going to work well and what's going to fit, as a band, and I think that really helps us.
Yeah, we're still trying to find our sound a little bit. We have a part of Americana feel, then we also have a little bit of blues, and then a little bit of a pop and jazzy kind of feel. So it's tough. We're still trying to find actually what our sound is, but I think we're heading in the right direction when it comes to songwriting. So it's when we write songs together, it's a pretty big team effort. I can come up with a melody, and then Joe can come up with what he does best on the drums, and Kelsey can come up with her vocal harmonies and piano part. We decided that hey, let's start a band, let's start playing together, because we were itching to get back into playing. We've played with other bands before, and we just missed playing, so we decided to form everything and get going. And we couldn't come up with a band name for the longest time, and we liked the name. We liked having the word Outlook in the name. And
Kelsey was at lunch earlier that day with her now fiance. And she had a sandwich at Central Market. It's called the Anastasia, and somehow, or I don't know how it happened, but
I think Caleb said, "Hey,
what did you guys have for lunch today?" And I had like a turkey sandwich or something, and Kelsey had the Anastasia,
so
and it fell into place, and
we're like, "Hey, Anastasia's Outlook. That's our band name. That's what we're gonna go with." We needed something quick, so that's what we went with. I'm graduating now from college, so. Working to try to work. My degree is in music business, so trying to work my way up in that industry, which is tough. I basically surround myself in music. I manage a band. I'm from Baltimore. I manage a band down in that area. So basically, we pretty much live and breathe music. Even when we're talking to each other, it's like, hey, let's work on this kind of song and let's do this. But we do have our downtimes where we like to play some cornhole, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm still in school, so I'm still working at my degree, but I'll be done in December, and it'll open up a lot more time for us to work on our music and get out there and play more.
Yeah, when I went halfway through college, I wanted to be a recording engineer. That's what I wanted to do, and I respect people that do that, and I have a knack for recording, but I fell in love with the business side, and now that I'm managing a band, I always fall back on the business side sometimes, and it's tough for us because when we're at a show, I'm sitting there like, okay, this is how much our payment contract is in the show, make sure everything's lined up correctly. I worry sometimes a little bit too much about the business aspect and behind the scenes stuff, and actually worrying about, okay, I have to go out on stage and perform tonight, make sure I have all my lyrics and the set list lined up, make sure my guitar's in tune. So it is a little difficult, but at the same time, it's great because a lot of artists are going DIY, do it yourself right now, and I think it helps to know the business side of the industry.
Yeah, I know, I agree. Like Ryan said, he's kind of thinking too much business as opposed to thinking more music. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Where we are right now, like we've been saying, we're still trying to get off the ground here, and the more we know, which we've gone to school for this, we know a lot about it, and we're obviously still learning about it. But because we know so much, it's going to help us right now, and it's going to help us in the long run. But once we get off the ground, it'd be helpful to have someone there to take that away from Ryan and ourselves. That way, we can kind of focus on the music.
This show is a retrospective show of my work that goes back for almost 36 years. Hello, I'm Clifton Santiago. I am a sculptor here in York, and currently showing at the Rudy Collective at 25 East Philadelphia Street. I work in wood and polyester resins. I've worked in other materials as well. This show represents some of what I've done. There's a piece called Angel, which is kind of a transition. It became more figurative, and from there I started incorporating more of pretty much life experiences started to show up in the work, and other interests as well. Having Angel 1 and Angel 2 in the same show is a treat to me. You can see the transition from pretty much purely a figurative piece to something that you can see the same idea in the base of it, but then it slowly morphs into something quite different, and it has several different things happening in the newer piece. My career as an artist started many years ago. I've shown out of Baltimore and DC. I have worked in private collections that stretch from Boston down to Mexico City. I originally started working in welding steel, was the first couple of years that I was working as a sculptor. And then I spent time in the Navy in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and became thrilled with some woodwork that was done there and started me into woodwork. The process of creating something doesn't really start with a totally empty. Normally there's some imagery that is interesting to me that I start with, and I'll develop it, and I have spent time. What's really interesting to me is to go back through a sketchbook and see that something that seemed like it just popped into your head. If I go back into the sketchbook, I find that there are pieces of that I had sketched years ago, and then it pops into something later. By the time I actually start doing the piece, it's pretty much set in my mind. I know exactly what it's going to be. It's a matter of the materials there. I just have to make it happen. I still work in other materials, and I still have thoughts to get back to doing certain things. I started a series years ago carving concrete, and I would like to go back to do that. I also dabble in photography and photo collages with my photography. The people who have purchased my work have almost always given me back exactly what I put into it. They got it right from the start, and it's something that they absolutely had to have, which is very satisfying as an artist.
I'm a rocket man, burning out his fuse up here alone. We're going to space. That's right, we're going to space. Launching. T-minus 1 hour, 20 minutes. Oh no, I'm a rocket man.
Hello and welcome to Spaceship York. We are collecting dreams to send to space. We are York's first space program and maybe our last. So you're welcome to look at our space library, because space travel is dangerous and often ends in death and dismemberment. It's good to be realistic about the project. Also, looking around the space, you might use our photo booth, take a picture with the ship. We have a board of directors, and most of all, we have dreams.
I want there to be like a peaceful world, or somebody to like get something that they always wanted and they really couldn't get.
The dreams around me are the ones we've collected so far, visions for York, for the world, for ourselves, and they can be pictures and words.
It's a great feeling. It's cool to have somebody doing something like this. It's a great opportunity. It'll be really cool if it actually works. I'd be excited to see my dream go up in space. That's pretty cool, right?
That is awesome.
How many would you putting D rockets in it or E engines or what?
And we're gonna watch Spaceship York hopefully go to the stars. So if you would like to go in and find a place to see the screen, that would be the best view.
I think it's ingenious. It's very different, creative.
And I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. If you could imagine, right here from York, going into space, but they aren't sure if he has enough escape velocity to get beyond that critical point.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the people want to know who shut you where. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare.
I thought it was pretty cool. It was alright. They tricked me into looking up, that's for sure.
It looks like a rocket from probably 1999.
I thought it was kind of like a 1920s film, which made it a lot of fun, and had a good time, really enjoyed it.
It went straight up into the sky, it was visibly onto a planet, it was certainly a ship.
Often people say it can just be kids, but in fact, everyone can dream.
I'm really excited about this. I love the atmosphere, and I just want to know more about it.
I see it evolving, changing, growing, and I like it.
It's fleeting. Once it happens, once a song comes out, once a poem comes out, it'll never come out the same.
Some of the culture in Maine is documenting what's going on in a way that will have that lasting staying power.
It just breeds healthy growth. It's a necessity. It's a necessity, yes.